So you want to own a gas station. You picture cars pulling in all day, pumping expensive fuel, thousands of gallons flowing out, dollars flowing in every hour. It looks like a license to print money on a busy corner. After all, the numbers on the price sign are enormous. Surely selling something so expensive must be wildly profitable. But here is the secret that every station owner already knows. The gas itself makes almost no profit at all. On a full tank, the owner might keep only a few cents per gallon. Sometimes the station loses money on the fuel entirely. So how do gas stations survive on almost every busy corner? The answer is that you are not really selling gas at all. You are selling coffee, snacks, and cigarettes to people buying gas. Tonight we break down what a gas station actually sells behind the pumps. The pumps are impressive, but the real question is far simpler. Where does the money come from, and where does it quietly disappear? So tonight we do one thing above all else. We follow the money. We trace every dollar from the first one spent to the last one kept. And by the end, you will see the machine hiding behind the fuel. Let's start with what almost nobody understands about a gas station. A gas station looks like a place that sells fuel to drivers. It is actually a convenience store with fuel pumps parked outside. The fuel is only there to pull people onto the lot. The real profit waits inside, on the shelves of the little store. Picture the whole business as a giant, expensive fishing operation. The pumps are the bait, spread wide to attract passing cars. The store is the net, quietly catching the profit as they enter. No bait means no fish, but the bait itself is never the meal. The single most important number is not gallons pumped per day. It is how many of those drivers walk through the store door. And here is the strange, uncomfortable truth of the whole model. The gas is the loss leader, the bait that costs you money. The store behind it is where the actual business really lives. A driver who only pumps gas and leaves is barely worth anything. A driver who buys a coffee and a snack is pure gold. Now hold that idea, because it explains everything that follows tonight. Before any of that, you have to survive opening the doors at all. And a gas station is a surprisingly expensive business to open. The total cost to open a gas station varies widely by size. A modest station can cost a few $100,000 to build. A large modern station with a big store runs into the millions. The single largest cost is usually the fuel system itself. Underground storage tanks are enormous, expensive, and heavily regulated. A set of these tanks can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. They must be sealed perfectly to prevent any leak into the ground. They also need constant monitoring systems to catch a leak early. The government watches these tanks more closely than almost anything. A leaking tank is one of the most feared disasters in this business. Cleaning up leaked fuel can cost more than the entire station. It can poison the soil and the groundwater for years to come. That single risk keeps many would-be owners out of the business entirely. Then come the pumps, the canopy, and the payment systems. Each modern fuel pump is a complex and costly machine. Then you build the store, stock the shelves, and install coolers. Then come the licenses, the permits, and the environmental inspections. Fuel is a hazardous material, so the regulations are strict and endless. Add insurance, security cameras, and the deep underground plumbing. Add it all together, and the barrier to entry is steep. This is why so many stations fly a big oil company brand. The brand provides the fuel supply, the name, and the marketing, but the station owner is usually an independent small business person. They sign a supply contract and fly the flag, but own the store. The oil company does not really run the station on the corner. It simply sells fuel to the owner and lends its famous name. The owner takes all the risk and keeps the store profit. This is why two stations flying the same brand can feel so different. One might have a sad, empty shop, the other a thriving little market. Now the doors are open and the real machine starts to run. Here is how a gas station actually makes money, layer by layer. Let's start with the layer everyone thinks is the whole business. The fuel itself, the gallons flowing out of the pumps. The truth is that fuel margins are razor thin and brutal. The station buys fuel at a wholesale price it cannot control. That price swings up and down with the global oil market daily. The owner must post a street price that competes with every rival. Drivers will cross the street to save 2 cents per gallon, so the owner is trapped between the wholesale cost and the competition. On each gallon, the profit is often just a few pennies, and credit card fees can eat almost that entire thin margin. When you swipe your card for $80 of gas, the card company takes a fee that can wipe out the profit. This is why some stations offer a discount for paying with cash. They are desperately trying to protect their tiny fuel margin. The cash price and the card price can differ by several cents. That small gap is the owner quietly fighting to keep a few pennies. So why sell gas at all if it barely makes money? Because the gas is the magnet that pulls cars onto the lot. No other product could pull so many people so reliably every day. Everyone needs fuel, and everyone must stop to buy it somewhere. Once a driver is standing at the pump, the real selling begins. The second layer is the convenience store, the true profit center. This little store is where the gas station quietly gets rich. Here the owner finally escapes the brutal grip of the fuel market. Nobody checks the wholesale price of a candy bar before buying it. The owner sets the store prices freely, with no rival 2 cents away. That pricing freedom is the whole reason the store exists at all. A bottle of water that costs the store 30 cents sells for $2. A candy bar, a bag of chips, a cold soda, all high margin. The markup inside the store is many times higher than on fuel. The customer never blinks at paying $2 for a cold drink. They are grateful for the convenience and pay the price gladly. That willingness to overpay for convenience is the store's secret weapon. Nobody drives across town to save a dime on a candy bar. The third layer is the single most profitable product of all: coffee, the humble cup of coffee brewing behind the counter. A cup of coffee costs the store just a few cents to make. It sells for $2 or $3 to a tired commuter. That is one of the highest margins in the entire business. A driver stopping for gas will happily grab a coffee too, and a morning coffee habit brings that same driver back daily. Few products build loyalty as quietly and cheaply as fresh coffee. It is the small daily ritual that keeps the store profitable. The fourth layer is tobacco, lottery tickets, and packaged snacks. Cigarettes bring people in again and again out of pure habit. A smoker returns to the same station day after day for their pack, and while they are inside, they often grab a drink and a snack. Lottery tickets pull a small commission on every single sale. The dreamer buying a ticket rarely leaves with only that ticket. Each of these adds another steady stream of margin inside, and each one lures a driver inside, not just to the pump. Before we go deeper, here is a question worth sitting with. When you stop for gas, what does the station really want? Your gallons at the pump or your feet inside the store? Tell me your honest answer in the comments as we continue. Now here is the counterintuitive part that surprises almost everyone. The best customer is not the one who fills the biggest tank. It is the one who runs inside for coffee and a snack. A driver spending $5 in the store beats one buying $80 in gas, because those $5 carry more real profit than the whole tank. The station makes more on your coffee than on your fuel. This flips the entire business completely upside down. The pumps are just the advertisement, and the store is the product. This is why modern stations keep making their stores bigger. Some now include full kitchens, seating, and fresh hot food. They have realized the fuel is only there to feed the store. The most profitable stations are almost restaurants that happen to sell gas. Walk into a modern station, and the pumps almost feel secondary. The bright store greets you with coffee, hot food, and endless snacks. The whole layout is designed to walk you past tempting shelves. Even the restrooms sit at the back, so you pass the merchandise. Every step inside is quietly engineered to lift your final bill. Now let's turn the machine around and look at the other side. Here is what it costs to keep those doors open every month. The biggest hidden cost is the fuel inventory itself. The owner must buy a full delivery of fuel up front. A single tanker delivery can cost tens of thousands of dollars. That money is tied up in the ground before a drop is sold. And if fuel prices drop overnight, the owner loses on stock already bought. The owner is quietly gambling on the oil market with every delivery. Buy high and sell low, and the whole tank becomes a loss. This is a risk most other small businesses never have to face. Then comes payroll for clerks working around the clock. Many stations stay open 24 hours every single day. Someone must staff that counter through every lonely night shift, and those overnight hours often bring the highest risk of robbery. The clerk alone at 3 in the morning is a real safety concern. Then come the utility bills for the coolers, lights, and canopy. The bright lights and refrigeration run constantly, day and night. A wall of glass door coolers draws power every single hour. The giant lit canopy over the pumps burns electricity all night. Then there are the credit card fees on every fuel sale. On thin fuel margins, those fees are a constant painful drain. Add insurance, security, maintenance, and the endless environmental compliance. Add it together, and a gas station runs on frighteningly thin margins. This is why the store inside matters so desperately much. Now let's look at how a gas station can quietly fail. The first killer is a price war with the station across the street. Two stations can drive fuel prices down until neither makes a cent. Each drops the price a penny lower, chasing the same passing cars. The winner of a fuel price war often still loses money. The owner who forgets the store cannot survive that war. Only a strong store lets a station survive selling gas at cost. The second killer is a leaking underground storage tank. A single leak can trigger a cleanup costing hundreds of thousands. It can bankrupt an owner and poison the land for years. The third killer is a location that loses its traffic. A new highway or a rerouted road can kill a station overnight. When the cars stop passing, the pumps and the store both go dry. A station lives or dies entirely on the traffic driving past it. This is why the same station can be gold or worthless. The building never changes, but the river of cars can vanish. A quiet corner with no traffic is a station with no future. Location, in this business, is almost the entire game. To see how the smart money plays this game, look at Wawa and Buc-ee's. These famous chains barely think of themselves as gas stations. Wawa built its empire on fresh food, coffee, and made-to-order sandwiches. People drive past other stations just to reach a Wawa store. The fuel is almost an afterthought to the food and the coffee. Wawa fans line up for their favorite sandwiches like a beloved restaurant. The company built a devoted following on food, not on cheap gas. Buc-ee's took the idea to an even more extreme scale. Its stores are enormous, with dozens of pumps and huge food halls. People plan road trips around stopping at a single Buc-ee's. They sell barbecue, snacks, and merchandise to massive daily crowds. A single Buc-ee's can hold thousands of shoppers throughout the day. Its famous clean bathrooms alone draw travelers off the highway. The gas is just the reason people first pull off the highway. Both chains prove the rule on a giant, profitable scale. They turned a low-margin fuel stop into a beloved destination. Customers now choose these brands for the experience, not the gas price. That loyalty is something a plain fuel pump could never build. The fuel is only the hook that reels the customer in. Now let's put real numbers on a single station, illustratively. Imagine a busy station selling 100,000 gallons a month. On each gallon, it clears only about 10 cents of profit. That is just $10,000 a month from all that fuel. It sounds like a lot until you see the costs behind it. Now look at the convenience store humming beside the pumps. The store might sell $100,000 in goods monthly, and it keeps a rich margin, perhaps $30,000 in profit. The little store earns 3 times what the fuel does. Add coffee, tobacco, and lottery on top of that store profit. Suddenly, the fuel is the smallest slice of the whole pie. Think about that balance for a single moment longer. The pumps handle 100,000 gallons for $10,000. The little store handles simple snacks for $30,000. The loudest, biggest, most expensive part earns the least of all. Follow the money, and it flows straight through the store door. The pumps outside were never where the real profit lived. So let's walk through the 2 years that decide a station's fate. In the good year, the station sits on a busy, growing corner. Traffic flows all day, and drivers pour into the bright store. Coffee sells out every morning, and the coolers empty every night. The store profit easily covers the thin fuel margins and fixed costs. A well-run station on a strong corner is a steady money machine. The best operators own several stations and grow quietly wealthy. They spread their fixed costs and buying power across many locations. Each new store adds another river of high-margin snack sales. A small chain of busy stations can build real lasting wealth. Now follow that money back to the millions invested to build it. On a strong corner, that investment pays back over several years. In the bad year, a new station opens right across the street. A brutal price war erupts and the fuel margin vanishes entirely. Meanwhile, a road project reroutes half the passing traffic away. The store goes quiet as fewer cars pull onto the lot. The fixed costs do not care that the pumps stand idle. Fuel deliveries, payroll, and card fees all arrive on schedule. A station without store traffic bleeds cash frighteningly fast. The tanks still cost money to hold, whether they empty or not. The lonely clerk still stands at the counter through empty nights. Every fixed bill keeps arriving while the profit slowly drains away. The same pumps, the same corner, two completely different outcomes. The difference was never the fuel, it was the machine underneath. This is the truth that no daydream about owning a station includes. A gas station looks like a business that sells fuel to cars. Underneath, it is a convenience store using gas as its front door. The pumps are the loudest, most visible, least profitable part of all. The real money hides in the coffee, the snacks, and the store. Just as Wawa and Buc-ee's proved, the store is the whole business. So here is the one lesson to remember from all of this. The most profitable thing on the lot is not the fuel at all. It is the $2 coffee sold to a sleepy morning driver. The next time you stop to fill your tank at a station, notice how the whole place is built to pull you inside. The pump is quick, but the door to the store is always closer. Because you do not win this game by pumping the most gallons. You win by pulling the most drivers through the store door. The fuel is the easy part. The store is the whole game. So can a gas station work? Yes, but only under one condition. Only if you follow the money past the pumps into the store. Only if you treat the fuel as bait and the store as the meal. Only if you find a corner where the traffic never stops flowing. Do that, and a corner of concrete can quietly make you rich. If this breakdown showed you the machine the dream never did, subscribe. Next time we break down the economics of owning a bar, a business where the real money hides in a single bottle of liquor. The doors are open. Now you know where the money really hides.